Yeah. What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you, and we are bringing you fantasy news today. Oh, yeah, we got the crew showing up here in a minute, but I'm getting it started off. Let me shout out everyone who's up in the chat right now. We got Antonio up in the building. What up, bro? And I'm going to get to the news that you said here pretty soon. And there we go. David P said, show me the money. Let's get it. All right. We got another third of the show just showed up. Here we go. Bogard Scott free in the building.
Yeah.
What up?
Hold the phone. I just got to say something. Fuck Rashad Bateman.
Man, you beat me to it, motherfucker. Yeah.
Fuck Rashad Bateman. I only played him in one of my redraft leagues, and I swapped out my man Darnell Mooney Tunes because of the wind. And here's the thing. The 7 points was 6 more points than I needed because I lost by less than a point. Fuck Rashad Bateman.
Ooh. Yeah, Bateman. Such a bum this week. I'm an island boy in the building. What up, bro?
Yeah.
Big Kong in the building. Jake Fromm season. And T Money in the building. What up, bro?
Hold on. Is Jake Fromm? Is he a tight end? How come I know that name?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah, oh no, quarterback. Let's see, who's he on? Oh, on the Giants. There we go.
Oh shit, it is. Yeah, because what's his name got the dizzies.
Yeah, got smacked.
Fuck yeah. You know what, bro? Hopefully, when Mike Glennon comes to, he'll realize that everybody knows he has no hairline.
When he wakes up, it's going to be, we heard that joke, I'm going to hit you so hard when you wake up, your clothes are going to be out of style. It's going to be that shit for him when he wakes up. His clothes are going to be all out of style, that old man, and yeah, it's going to be some real shit.
See, even if he was out for 10 minutes, I'd swap his clothes out with old-ass shit and shave the top of his head off just to let him know this is what you're supposed to be. Okay? I can't, Mike Glennon annoys me.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah, it's rough. It is it's tough out there for the Giants and everybody who's associated with them right now. And I'm an island boy, said Bogart, what up?
Yeah, island boy.
Yeah, and Antonio said, Bogart, give me money.
Yeah, I would.
And JC Money, I think he is going to be coming on the show. His Minnesota ass has to drive into town to go make runs, and he said he went on a Popeyes run real quick.
Hey, so he lives what do they call that? Rural?
I call it bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah, I know that, but what do they call? There's an actual term for that, right? Rural.
Yeah, rudes.
Roads.
And Antonio, I swear I heard the commercial in my head reading your shit. Love that chicken from Popeyes, but I heard it in the exact commercial, the way it sounds.
Hey, you know how if you go to a bitch's house when you're young, right? You know what I'm saying? And you go there to get pussy, just you don't go to the steak joint and order the chicken, right? But when I go to Popeyes, the chicken's phenomenal, but their goddamn butterfly scrimps over there smack, bruh.
Nice. I remember one time I went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. If you guys have never been there, you guys need to go check it out when you're in the LA area. And I
get the dark meat.
So I always get the white meat, maybe I'll try a mix next time. But I know that every time I go there, I'm getting the SCOs. It's the chicken, it's the waffle, it's both of them. It's the shit that they're known for, you know. And I remember just listening to some people who were there for the first time, younger group of kids or whatever. And this whole table orders and not one of them orders a waffle. And not one of them, not a one. And the waitress is you guys sure? No one wants a waffle. You guys could even get one and it comes easily where you can split it into 4 pieces. You guys should definitely try it. And they were like, nah, we're good.
We're trying to watch our figure. You know what is the butter, bruh?
Oh yeah, dude. I still am sticking to the story. They're sprinkling a little bit of crack in that shit.
Listen, man. Listen, I want the crack butter. Give me crack butter.
That shit is so good. Every time I go to LA, I gotta try to slide through there.
You know, so when we used to go out there and try to get record deals all the time, you know what I mean? Because you have Capitol and you have Universal, all kind of record companies. Their HQs are out there in Hollywood. So we'd be out there and shit all the time. We used to be out there like damn near every weekend. You know what I mean? And I remember my man's. This is still CD time, so we're out there hella CDs, and we're at Roscoe's. You know what I mean? And we just ate. And we're out there smoking a cigarette and shit. And this Range Rover pulls up, and my man's is like, "Oh shit, it's fucking Kanye, bro." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!" And I looked, and it was Yeezy, and he was hanging out the passenger side, and someone was handing him fucking his Roscoe's to go, and I was like, "This fool, he saw it like a minute before me." You know what I mean? Like you have the CDs in your hand. You know what I mean? Go, because when I seen it was him, it was all right, and he was, you know what I mean? It's too late.
Just get it. You just throw it through their window before they drive off like anything.
Hey, listen, because that's one of those things like you never know. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, you can have a far reach through social media, but back in the days, you had to be out there in the field, right? Shaking babies and kissing hands. I got that backwards, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So yeah, it's seeing some shit like that, like. Even if it was a sneak attack or something, go up and throw it in his window. They may throw that shit away, but they may be like, man, this guy had some balls. Let's listen to it real quick.
I remember I would always tell motherfuckers, like, when they would give you your CD, right? I'd be like, all right, cool. Oh, you found it? Good job, boy. Anyway, I'll tell. Okay, I'll find the remote. He has this little Harry Potter wizard stick. He's like trying to fling it at me. I'm like, listen, that's not gonna work on me, bro.
trying to turn you into a toad real quick if you don't find the remote.
Right? Oh, I just spilled the snacks. Anyways, I digress. Whatever I was talking about.
Whoever's the Facebook user said, come to Tennessee and eat at Gus's Chicken. Shit's bussin'.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know, it's funny. I have a 14-year-old, so I know bussin' means that's tight. Like, this shit is fire. You know what I'm saying?
I'm an island boy. I said, give me the crack butter.
You feel me?
Antonio said, I always wanted a waffle bot after watching Harold and Kumar. I know, man. The shit seems so clutch.
You know what? What is it called? Making your own waffles is the way to go. Like, you ever stay at a table and they got one of the continental joints, but it got the thing you could pour your own waffle?
Mm-hmm.
Fire, bro.
Yeah, make your own waffle station, all about it.
Hell yeah, I'll throw little bits of bacon in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Make it a whole fucking meal. Then put sausage patties in it, and now you got a sandwich. You know
David P says crack butter sounds nasty. I guess it just depends on what context you're thinking about the crack butter. And what up, Brandon? What's going on, bro? He said that Nashville hot. There we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember at that. What he said that Tennessee joint was called?
Well, Gus's Chicken. So I'm assuming this might have been Brandon who put that over there on Facebook.
I remember there was somebody, Philip from the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
From Gemmo Show.
Yep.
Yeah, he went all the way to Tennessee to go get this sandwich from some joint. I wonder if it's place, but it was like the hottest sandwich ever. You know? It was fucked up for days.
I believe it.
Spicy food, but I'm not into like eating spice for sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my palate has finally loosened up more towards spicy stuff over the last handful of years. And yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I'm not eating spicy for sport. Yeah, that gets a little insane.
Fuck no. You know what I'm saying?
And Midnight 201 just said had the worst fantasy football week this season. Okay. The only thing that I'm going to say about that is at least it happened right now and not in the playoffs. Got to get those out of the way sometime. So now is a good time to get it out of the way, as long as it didn't screw you for the season.
It is the cleanse, as we call it, for the fantasy gods. I cleanse you. And they might take away a victory from you, but it's for you to grow, because there's no more bullshit after week 14. If once you get past week 14, you can't lose.
Point of no return. I mean, shit, even in a lot of places, week 14 and beyond might be must-win territory. So luckily, the fantasy gods, they already hooked us up a little bit, and they already made it go one more week into the regular season. So if anyone took a loss, you got another week to get back on track.
Yeah. And listen, in that TFL, the Tyrannosaurus Flex League, I think you're about to jump. I think me and you's about to jump up.
Let me see.
Because I know you smacked and you put up hella points. I'm not sure.
No, it ain't over. It ain't over till it's over. I'm not counting any motherfucking chickens. I only got Jacoby Myers going right now, and he's got.
I'm done.
He's got.
Yeah.
I'm not. He's got Cole Beasley, Nelson Aguilar, and Devin Singletary. We're projected right now. I'm projected to lose by like 0.75 points. So I need Jacoby Myers to do some shit.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be all right. It's gonna be one of them back. Like remember, we didn't really get to elaborate on it too much, but I remember on Saturday I texted you, I was like, we really need to like break down some of these weather games. Cause then also I need someone to tell me I'm just like I'm overreacting too, you know what I mean? But like, look at for anybody that looks at Tyreek Hill last night, 20 yards for 2 receptions, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that 4 points ain't shit in your roster, but maybe if you had the cojones to start someone else over him because you knew it was going to be 20-mile-an-hour winds, you know what I mean? Bravo to you, because the weather is a real thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that especially now, like the weather starts. It makes a huge difference. The weather's worse now than in most of the other parts of the season. So, yeah we really got to pay attention to it. I mean, it's really the winds. It's not the snow. It's not the rain. It's all about the wind.
Yeah, for real.
So we're going to be on that, guys, moving forward. We are going to be on that. And Jack Keenan says have to outscore Dawson Knox tonight in a full PPR by 29.9 with Allen, Diggs, Buffalo D in order to finish first in my league. Otherwise, my opponent will. Thoughts on my chances and score prediction? I mean, I like your chances. I mean, you got 3 players going up against 1. And Dawson Knox, I feel like being the red zone threat that he is, I feel like the Patriots are going to try to take him away a little bit.
Well, what kind of safety is Duggar? He's a coverage safety, right? He plays like deeper.
I mean, I know he's been getting a bunch of interceptions. He's a hybrid because I believe he plays the strong safety. Let me go double check, but I mean, they move him around, him and Phillips. They just move them around like crazy.
Phillips is balling, dude.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Yeah, Duggar. Yeah, Duggar's the strong safety, and they always have him. They always have him playing back though.
Yeah, because he's out, right? So like,
yeah, he's on the COVID reserve.
Yeah.
They're not skipping a beat. Like they run a lot of 3 safety sets, and Adrian Phillips, Devin McCourty, and Duggar on the field at the same time. So I mean, now maybe they changed to like a 2 safety, scheme versus their 3 safety scheme or whatever.
It would make sense because Josh Allen has a big arm. So, I mean, you could see them like adopt the 2 high safety shit that everybody's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Nigel said, need that Monday night miracle. There we go. Down by 8 points. Opponent has Nick Folk, and I have the Buffalo D. There could be a fumble, scoop and score, an interception to the house like by Buffalo. Could easily happen.
So you're going to start off with your 10 points. So you'll be winning, right? And this is a game where this is going to be I think this is going to be a lower scoring field goal game. But the biggest argument I can make against myself for that is that only New England's the running team out of these 2. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Buffalo's going to try to run it up. And if you're from Buffalo, you would imagine you'll be able to play in this element because it's going to be a shitty weather game. You know what I mean? And for his sake, he has the reason I bring this up is that if they're running it up, they're going to send pass rush. This is the number 1 and 2 best secondaries in the game. Number two being Buffalo. You know what I mean? And Mac Jones, he'll throw a pick.
How's Buffalo's game changed though after Trey White's out now?
a good point, but I'm still saying though, you're right, because it's completely skewed because they were so fucking phenomenal. So maybe there is a vulnerable spot. Maybe Tyron Johnson gets picked on, right? That's his name, right? This the new secondary guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Levi Wallace is going to jump up into the number one spot, or number one cornerback.
Yeah.
Look, so and another thing too is like it's more so the tight ends and like the random, because everything else for New England is random. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Random Nelson Aguilar, random Kendrick Bourne. I mean, obviously, the only floor guy really is Jacoby Myers, but he has no ceiling, basically. You know what I mean?
Yep. And don't worry, everyone. We're gonna get into the news Monday and Tuesday. I figure we can interact with you guys a little bit more in the beginning because the news is so small. We can do that kind of like the second half of the show. And
fucking remote, bro. We're in the. Hold on, son.
Man, see, well, I guess you're using your phone. Yeah, I got it. I got mine on the phone. And Nan Daddy, what up, bro? What's going down? Shout out to SoCal. And Big BS said week 12, won by 0.2. My luck continued and won week 13 by 0.1. What the fuck? Yeah, bro. You didn't even ask questions. You just take that money and run with it. And yeah, just keep building. Don't rest on your laurels. That's what people do, and they get too comfortable. And Brandon said, got to go to the honky tonks in Nashville. Nice, the honky tonk man. And I'm an Island boy. Said I just had the best week of the season. Dropped 173. That's dope, bro. That is dope. And Brandon said, number one, baby, and I should have Aaron Jones and Debo back next week. Let's go.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely terrible weather tonight. Is definitely going to be a running and short pass game. That's for sure. And Josh Dyer said started 1-4 and now 7-6. Yeah, what a turnaround. That's what is that? 6-2 that you cracked off over the last 8 weeks. That's money and might creep into the playoffs in a 16-teamer. There we go. Traded OBJ for Herbert. There we go. And cut Allen Robinson and Kenny Golladay. Let's get it. Feel good about the ACD coming through in the clutch last night. There you go.
We're telling motherfuckers cut Golladay and Robinson early too. We're like, fuck those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you can't shine doo-doo, baby. And they may be better next year. We're definitely not telling you to do that in dynasty leagues, but in redraft, there's certain guys who I will not sink with the ship, and Allen Robinson and Kenny Golladay were those guys. That's for sure. And Brandon said, now time to lock down a dome kicker. Better get it, bro. And I'm not changing kickers, though. In the leagues where I still have kickers, I got Matt Gay everywhere, and I'm just rolling with him. Doesn't even matter the matchup, anything. Just rolling with him.
Yeah, I've been rolling with him in my $500 league. Like, I keep, picking him up and dropping him. And I usually stream kickers, but I just been rocking with him. He's been putting up, 13 every week.
Yeah, what more can you ask for if your kicker is going to average 10 points, a game?
What's funny is they, I think it was the Buccaneers. They clown everyone clowned the Buccaneers for drafting the kicker in the first round. Then they only to cut him. You know what I mean? I think it was that gay.
Yep. Yeah. And Antonio said, could happen. Going to be a really windy night. Not a good day for kickers. That's for sure. That's for sure. And there we go. Antonio said kind of sucks. More probably going to be covered. Yeah, by the number one cornerback. Antonio said, I got no more kickers, and that's how I like it. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. All right. And last one, then we're going to get into some of this news. Chosen Rose said, I'm losing by 27. I have Josh Allen and Nick Folk left, half PPR. I think Josh Allen's going to get a lot of rushing going in this game. They're going to need to do a lot on the ground. So I think his rush game is going to keep the floor safe. All right. Here we go. First order of business that we got to talk about. Antonio shouted out first. Corey Davis done for the year. He's having core muscle surgery tomorrow. His season is over. It was fun the couple weeks while it lasted. Yeah, so He did good for a couple weeks in the beginning of the season, and my man Dion said Elijah Moore to the moon. Hell yeah, you already know now. We just don't sit Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I mean, Zach, 2 games in a row, Zach Wilson is targeting him. He's being looked at as the primary guy yesterday, even when before Corey Davis left the game with an injury. And listen, bro, I listen. I feel bad for Corey Davis. He's hurt, but I bet you he's not hurt. They were just like, listen, bro, you stuck. You're done.
You got lucky that that Mims was such a bust that we thought that you were worth 29 mil or whatever we paid you.
And like he got a fat guarantee too.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. He's been laughing all the way to the bank all year.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Some other news that we had out of Washington. So the Logan Thomas MRI comes back, and they said it's a lot better than they expected because the initial MRI shows that he did not tear his ACL. So they said more tests to come. I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV, like Bogard likes to say. All I'm doing is literally repeating what I read today in the news, and it's that the initial MRI says it looks like he did not tear his ACL, but a lot more tests to come soon.
I thought it was confirmed he was. I thought maybe it was somebody was fake news.
No, well, they feared ACL or MCL, so that's what they said. They've been talking about that since yesterday. Is that they feared that it was that? It's the first MRI of a lot that are coming.
You know what's crazy is this is a case where if he gets put on the IR, even if it's not an MCL or ACL, he's done for the rest of the season. So
especially the fantasy season.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying because it's just the CMC thing. You can't get put on IR twice and come back. You can't do double 3-week IRs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And especially right now, we're going into week 14. I mean, 4 weeks is the end of the season at this point.
Good point.
Well, 5 weeks, I guess, but you know.
Hey, listen, because man, I thought. Well, first of all, I know where I read this now. It's in a text thread I'm in. Somebody was like, "Oh, torn ACL." I think I even texted you. I was like, "Oh shit, possible torn ACL." I didn't think it was that bad. Mind you, I didn't read it. I woke up this morning. I didn't read nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, even the way that you just said it, possible torn ACL. Because if you would have said torn ACL, I would have said no. It's still kind of up in the air. It's not been confirmed all the way.
Yeah, it's a good point.
There we go. Ed said about to go sign up now. Hell yeah, bro. SDHustler.com, and then that's going to bring you to the Super Draft Pro website. You click access the contests, and then you'll see the elite member there. You click that, make it to the next page, and then you put in all your info and everything. Ruben in the building. What up, bro? Said been busy lately, but I'm here, boys. Hell yeah, let's spark it up, Ruben.
Yeah, shout out to Rube.
Yeah, and man, good point, Brandon. He said Rams are so good right now, can't even imagine them with Akers back next year. Crazy.
Hold on, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Their defenses looked really bad, right? They can't stop the run. Their secondary isn't like lockdown like they were the past 2 seasons.
Bogard's so pissed that they're not coming through and going to win that division like he predicted from preseason.
And then, you know what I mean? It's almost like they're destined to not win because everything's like from Cam Akers to Robert Woods to like all the trades and everything. Like
Henderson now with the quad.
I still think they win this division, though. You know what I mean? Going to the Super Bowl and winning it, though, I don't believe in that no more.
You still think they're going to win the division?
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Not the division either. I forgot Cardinals are kicking ass.
They're 2 games ahead of them right now with the tiebreak.
Wild card is like wild card conversation is how we should be talking about the Rams. You know what I mean? Oh,
right. As of right now, I mean, they got the top wild card spot, locked down.
Yeah.
Most teams going after the wild card in the NFC are 6-6 or less. And Second Take Extra said, is TD coming? Yep. He hit me up already. He said he's coming. He was stuck in traffic on the way home, but he will be here. He will be here. And but we got another savage in the building right now. JC Money Design in the building.
What's up, guys?
What up?
Spicy preference for Popeyes.
Man, must be nice. Got called out of work because it's too cold to work. Then you just get smacked on some Popeyes.
It's crazy because, like, in conditions where it's too hot and you can have like a heat stroke, I'm not finna be out there. In conditions where you could be like so cold you freeze to death, I ain't out there.
Yeah, it's pretty cold. The wind is bad.
I'd probably have a beard that rivaled JC Money's if I was like a cold dweller.
Keeps my neck warm.
I think I would go full Eskimo. Like fuck the mediums. If I'm gonna live in the cold, I'm going to Alaska.
Alaska's awesome. I liked it there.
Hey, you know what is it called? The term Eskimo brothers.
Yep, that's from the league.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, it kind of makes sense in Alaska. You know what I mean? Like, you're all stuck on this joint. You feel me?
Yeah, man, you're gonna have to watch the league. You're gonna be forced into it because we're gonna do some of those season breakdowns in the off season.
I bet you can get one of them motherfuckers to come on the show, bro.
I bet we probably could.
Right?
They're probably not doing shit. Like,
tell us about life after the league.
And then we're just gonna see them take a drink. But the one dude who everyone talks shit about, Andre, he's like the spokesperson for T-Mobile right now. I don't even know how that happened.
Shit. I mean, how much do you think that pays, right?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he got
paid.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be. I mean, they got a bunch of podcasts and stuff. That's got to be something that, yeah. Maybe that's what he does. Maybe that's what he does to pay a couple of his card notes or something. Who knows? I don't know what kind of life he's living. Antonio said if you get Taco, that would be awesome. Taco's the man.
It's Monday though.
Taco court. No. He means Taco from
Taco from the league.
Yeah. Bogard hasn't even seen it. He doesn't even. Well, I mean, he's seen it.
You know what's funny is people always said to me, I was the Ralphie of the group.
Yeah, Ralphie's a savage. Like I don't think anyone's like him in real life. Well,
because my boys fuck with that shit, and they would always be like, "Bro, you're like Ralph. You're like Ralphie."
Yep, Ed. Select my name. You just hit yep, hit yes, and then it's gonna have you go through the rest of the stuff there. Yeah, Ralphie. They he doesn't just play in normal leagues like them. The one league that he talks about first is a domination league that he plays in, and winner gets to punch the loser in the face.
Does he ever come through black eyes and shit?
I mean, you never really see it. No, but yeah, that was just one thing where he talks about how their league is so lame and shit.
Was there a dude in the show who like went and tried to injure his opponent's like player? Like tried to like arrogant the motherfucker?
Yeah, well, so it was the main guy in the league. His name's the main guy is Pete. And they know that Rafi is just one of those guys. You can tell him to like go kill someone and he'll go do it, you know, just because like, he's wild. And he was like, hey, he was like, is that Matt Forte? And he was like, I don't know, is it? He was like, the Asian guy? He was like, no, the guy standing next to him. And he was like, I think it is. I don't know. And he was like, dude, that guy is on your team. He's out here getting wasted right now. He's like, should I go kill him? And he was like, no, but you should trade him to me. That's it. So they just try to take advantage of him where he can. But he's like, yeah, Rafi's crazy. Like, he's just insane. Like,
that's funny.
Yeah.
So this is a Chicago-based joint.
Chicago-based.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They're all about the Bears when they're there. And they even somehow, so they get Jay Cutler on the show. And they actually they have a kid, and they're at like the same, like his wife's at the same like mommy and me, like, you know, whatever, like you know, I don't even know what I don't even know what the hell it's called.
Baby class. It's
one of those baby classes. There you go. I'm so high I can't even think about it. And they steal Jay Cutler's son's like milk.
Cutler milk. Baby cutlet. They call it baby cutlet.
Baby cutlet milk. Yep. And they give it to their son, and It was so funny. Then randomly, like the two kids are like, I don't know, they're walking around or something, and he like swats it down. And he was like, "Oh, almost intercepted the Cutler ball." And like Jay Cutler or the wife got all pissed about it. Cutlers don't throw interceptions.
Did it have his bitch on there playing the wife?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that his real wife?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Christian Cavallari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she left him recently, right? And I remember because I fuck with Breakfast Club sometimes. It just pops in my feed, and it was like what's her name? The half black Asian chick. I forget her name. She kind of hot too.
I don't remember the name. I know
Angela Yee, right? She said she was reporting how Christian Cavallari left him, and she said one of the things she said is that he's incredibly boring, and he's great with the kids, and he's a great man, this and that, but like her personally, he's hella boring. But it's like, I bet you he is, man.
Yeah, like he was already.
Jay Cutler will probably watch paint dry.
Yeah, I mean, if you were boring when you're in the NFL, like I can only imagine life after the NFL.
He had a TV show.
Boring.
Yeah, boring on here too.
I thought it was funny as hell. Some of the he said some stupid ass shit.
I've been my girl forever. And back in the days, she used to watch that show like Laguna Beach and the Hills and all shit. And that's where that bitch came from.
Yeah. That's funny because that's how my wife knew her too. Like, knew Jay Cutler or whatever because that stupid ass show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's funny. So ridiculous. And but yeah, we're gonna get you into watching that show, bro. Ooh.
You know what is? I got so many things I need to binge on. That's one of them though. Cause like after fantasy, which is basically February, right? Then it's like I just go through like the cleanse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything else.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Depends on how mad as fuck I am at fantasy. You know what I mean? Like it's so crazy. This week 14 is so crucial in like a lot of my leagues. You know what I mean? Like there's a chance to make 18 out of 21 playoffs here. And that's a lot of bread. So I'm excited, but I'm also like anxiety ridden.
Yeah, I just went through all my teams. Well, I went through them last week, and it looks like 73% of my leagues, I'm at least in the playoff hunt. It's like 12 of them were already locked down the playoff spot, and those are like top 1 or 2 for the most part. And then, but about 73% of the leagues I'm still in the hunt in. Yeah. All right. And Nigel, good looking on the super chat, bro. Said best trio in the game, Hustler, JC Money, and Give Me Money. Appreciate you guys and all the hard work and dedication. And we got a fourth because JC Money's making a special guest appearance. One day he's going to be here all the time. Next season, I'm sure he'll be here all the time. But
you got it.
The normal Monday host is our man, TD. Who does it better? Nobody.
The most passionate man I know in the game.
Nobody, baby. What's good, bros?
What up?
How y'all doing, man? What's going on?
Shit, chilling.
What's going on, money?
It's cold as hell here, so I'm not working today. It's minus 18 with wind chill.
Hey, I want to see. You got to do a picture, right? Like just wet your beard and go outside and until long enough till you get the icicles and then bro. And
I can send you a picture. I got a picture from like last year when I was snow blowing, and all of a sudden my whole beard was like just all white and shit. I'm just like, oh.
Oh man. Man, Antonio's a savage. Said first time Taco came on your show, I was hyped. I thought it was Taco from the league. That's just funny.
Oh, well, that's funny.
And Antonio shouting out TD.
What up, bro?
Hey, that's funny. It's like you go to you're like, oh man, the Brady's doing a signing. You're like, oh yeah, you go over there you wait in line, and it's like Brady, the dude from the Brady bunch. I'm telling you, man.
Oh man, and Sir Bong's lot in the building. What up, bro? Yeah, super high, super high. And here we go. Second take extra, throwing in some Darren Waller news. Raiders coach said Darren Waller knee is considered day-to-day. Waller's considered week-to-week before missing the Raiders game week 13 against Washington. He's not going to be right the rest of the season, is he?
Darren Waller, I'm mad that he was injured. You know why? Because if he wasn't injured, I wouldn't have fooled around with this Foster Moreau.
Yeah, because luckily I think I only played him in one league. Other than that, he wasted a spot on my bench.
Yeah.
But I apologize to anybody who I said start Foster Moreau.
You know what was frustrating? They didn't even give him a target till like the end of the second quarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, then he gets one catch and rips off of like a 34-yarder. And it's like, do that more. You know what I mean?
Like, why can't he get 3 more of those?
Yeah.
Well, Hustler, do you think you need to apologize for that? Because what would you do if you go back to Sunday before the game? Would you still tell people to play Foster Moreau?
Yeah,
well, you know what? Yeah, I would still go back and do that. And so, because Washington's been giving up the booty.
Exactly.
I know when I'm wrong, and I know that there's some people who might be like, man, he fucking told me to do that. So I'll say apologize to anyone who may be up in their feelings, about it. But
okay, here's one. Here's one. This is one. I did this to myself in one spot. I'm trying to decide between Darnell Mooney, who was already in my lineup, but I also had Montgomery for context. So I didn't want to be too heavy on the Bears in the shitty game where I'm like, they're just going to run the ball, right? Then I pivot to Rashad Bateman because there's no Joe Hayden, and then it works. It doesn't work out. He puts up a big goose egg. Here's the thing. It made me go and look at. I had to go and look at Lamar Jackson's numbers because I started realizing yo, he don't got more than, I think he has only 4 games over 20 fantasy points. That means we don't want anybody there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then it started making me look at it damn, it's his reputation of being good. Once I looked at the numbers, I probably wouldn't have pivoted to Rashad Bateman or for the last 2 weeks tell people to start Rashad Bateman. You know what I mean? Because it's not there happening for anyone. You know what I mean?
I get it. And you're right. And I tell my guys, if I tell you to play the wrong guy, I'm sorry. But listen, guys, I don't play fantasy for the results. I play it through the process. And the process says if Darren Waller's out, I'm playing Foster Moreau. They heavy targeted the tight ends. What other tight end do I got? And then if Logan Thomas out there, if I tell you to play Foster Moreau over Logan Thomas or something, maybe I might apologize for that. But guys, there's no other tight end out there. And so I see the tweet or the comment about Rex Burkhead. Well, who was the other guys to play? Because Rex Burkhead, even though he didn't do good, what other running back was gonna get that type of workload?
Well, no, I mean it was because I was like, man, fuck Rex Burkhead. He's only gonna be just drop him because his ceiling is only so high, and we're shooting for championships right now. We're not playing for 5th place. So we got to go with way higher upside guys. Okay. And when David Johnson goes out, I pivot. I tell a couple people to start Rex Burkhead amongst some shitty options that they give me. So no, I think that's him, just doing what I did, saying I fucked up, saying Foster Moreau, Nan Daddy taking his lump, saying he fucked up by bringing up Rex Shithead, That's all it is. We're all guessing at the end of the day. We're all having fun trying to guess right.
Exactly.
See,
that's what you got now. If we tell you a guy that's on the bench and he don't start, that's when you need to hey, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? But if you are playing a guy and he gets how many Foster Moreau snaps? He got 90% of the snaps.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go check that, but I swear he was on the field all the time. Yeah, every time I looked out there,
blocking. Here's the thing: he's also blocking too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And okay, how about this? I'm going to disagree. And when we
played 85% of the snaps.
Okay. We don't. I'm going to disagree. We don't play a guessing game here. That's what I'm saying. If we go back and you ask me again Sunday, Foster Moreau or about Rashad Bateman or anything like that, I'm going to say the same thing because I'm not guessing. I'm wired to have a certain method to the madness. You know, like for example, if there's going to be 20 plus mile an hour winds, I'm probably going to be disciplined to sit those receivers. You know what I mean? Like, there's
I heard someone say it, like you're not paying for the result, you're paying for the process.
Yes, that's what I always say. Yep.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's what you guys got to remember. So, because the last time we told you to start Foster Moreau, he got a touchdown.
He killed.
He got a touchdown.
He didn't get a touchdown. He had like 6 for 80 in a tug.
He killed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Greg Olson, offensive coordinator, Greg Olson, he's so fucking vanilla. This is just what they do. And so and they try to get creative. You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden they try to get creative, or maybe not creative, but here's another thing. Because I actually rewatched that game, the condensed version, because I wanted to see what happened with Foster Moreau, so I don't just get it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, what hurt him the most was not only he's out there blocking for Josh Jacobs, but Josh Jacobs was getting all the targets.
He was.
He has been over the last couple weweeks. They've been using him that way.
Yeah, he caught balls. So and this is because the game plan. So, and maybe it's because I don't respect Greg Olson at all. Like I don't expect him to be able to make adjustments like that. Like, oh, Waller's hurt the past few weeks, so during the course of the week we're game planning Josh Jacobs more. You know what I mean? And because it's showing. You know what I mean? Like I hate Josh Jacobs, but this week we got a lot of Josh Jacobs questions, and I was just like, there's not really too many running backs right now that I would start over Josh Jacobs outside of the names. You know what I mean? Because he's a high end.
Yeah, I would like next year. I don't take running backs in the first round, but say next year with him getting these targets, I like a running back like that. I take him around 4th, 5th round, 3rd round in the super flex, and then get those. And then he's getting targets now in PPR.
Here's the thing: what happened with him? They signed Drake in the offseason, and people hate Josh Jacobs because of that, all that shit. So then that drops him in ADP. Next year. There's still going to be Drake, but he's going to finish as a top 12 with the landscape of running backs and all the injuries. He's going to finish as top 12. And that's going to be hilarious because, I hate Josh Jacobs. And you know what I mean? I always tell people you either need him to score or catch a couple balls because other than that, he's a wash. And then now he's doing both, the past couple weeks. So, I mean, touche.
Yeah, and we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be trying to cash in on him. Next year. Well, it all depends on the coaching regime, and everything that goes out there. Yeah, as of right now, he's nowhere close to the top 12 or anything just yet. He's got a ways to go. Let me see.
Where is he? He's 16 right now.
He should be doing. He's doing better than Saquon.
He's 17 right now.
Okay. See,
I mean, he's there, but closer to a flex than a RB1.
Okay. Well, where he's at right now makes him a high end RB2 though. You know what I mean? So it's
I'm gonna say mid level, not high. I'm gonna say mid.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, because what that's 12, so he's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, so he's number 5 in the RB2s.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fuck him.
But Leonard
Fournette was back there last year too, about the same spot.
What's that?
In 2 playoff games.
Yeah, I mean it's going to come down to the way that he finishes, and the way that we draft people next year is always about how they finish. Right up going into the playoffs and whatever they do in the playoffs, that's the kind of value they're going to carry over to redraft leagues.
Yep.
Yeah, like Robert Woods finished higher than Cooper Kupp last year in a PPR. So a lot of people drafted him over Kupp. Kupp was the value this year. You know what I mean?
I know I did in one league.
And me too. Keenan Allen was the value too this year. You know what I mean? He had a chunk, October was bad. But September and November, he's been killing shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Who else was a good value this year? I mean, people thought Cortland Sutton was gonna be that value, not so much. You know what I mean?
Droppable, like we said this past week before this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of things you'll go back and look at the draft. Especially in your later rounds, like the guys you're those later round guys. It's okay, you start reaching for your guys sometimes. Like if there's a guy you like in the 15th round, you know what I mean. But he 17th normally. I know you might get him a little early. It's funny though that I draft when I look back. like this year, I made a conscious effort. I'm gonna get all the high-end handcuffs. Like, so I had a bunch of Pollard, AJ Dillon, because I'd rather have those guys than like Will Fuller or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking, guys like that. You know what I mean? Like they're going
running backs that is very talented to me. Always be like the league-winning type players, like Cam Akers last year. I thought he was good. I thought that was the type of guy that I wanted on my team.
If he, what's sad too is that he got hurt against the Jets. You know what I mean? Now it was week 14 or it was week 13, and then he was just done after that. Week 14.
No, I think it was after that because he balled week 14. I remember that.
Okay, that was the Thursday. Well,
he lost to the semifinal. I mean, he didn't do good the semifinal game.
Yeah, week 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what
I hit him. I lost in the team that I only lost one game in that league, and I lost in the semifinals. I was sick. Cam Akers. I didn't have any running back to start.
David P says, "Tell Derrick Henry to put some crack butter on it and get out there." Derrick Henry is still RB8 as of right now. He hasn't played for 4 games. Like,
he had 137 yards before he was out.
I guarantee you, Derrick Henry finishes as the top 24 running back this year.
Oh, easily. There's way too many injuries for sure. He's at top 20.
Yeah.
I mean, really, could he finish as a top 15? I think that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to be pretty damn close, but I think he'll be right around like RB. Yeah, probably between 20 and 24 somewhere.
How about rushing yards? If we just go by rushing yards,
I mean, 833. I think Hustler said a couple weeks ago.
937.
933. Yeah, 9. I'm sorry, not 8, 9.
Like
there's only 2 people with more rushing yards in the NFL.
So crazy.
Taylor and Mixon. Those are the only ones who have more yards than him right now.
Would y'all take CMC if you hit the number 1 overall pick? Who you taking right now, Hustler? Real quick.
Probably Taylor.
What about you, Bogard?
If I got the 1-1?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I probably grab Taylor.
What about you, JC?
Just because, because the situation's gonna be the same. You know what I mean? Like that line is still together. Like, and like he's gonna finish. It's the allure of it. But see, here's the fun. The fun is gonna be in the value next year. You know what I mean? Like the fun is gonna be in the value. Like I think Javonte next year is probably gonna warrant like a second round. You know what I mean? Like when it's all said and done, I bet you he'll be a second rounder. So I might even be opposed to earlier running back and go receiver because there's guys like Justin Jefferson,
Devontae Adams. It depends on where he goes.
So is there any world where you're taking CMC in the first round?
No.
Any place?
At the back?
111?
Yeah, hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Back end of the first, I mean, I'm still willing to do that. Derrick Henry's going to be 2 for me. I mean, right behind Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
What about you, JC? Who's number? Same thing for you?
Yeah, I would do Derrick. I would go if I'm going to go running backs. It just depends on like right now. I'm just kind of salty about these running backs. It's just bad taste, Like I have CMC in a couple of leagues, and it's just like it really hurts you unless you find someone like an Elijah Mitchell to at least kind of like help you out. But
it
really hurts.
Okay, I got a question for you guys now. I was talking about this earlier on the earlier stream that we were doing, just about how the evolution of football is pretty much how the evolution of fantasy football goes as well. When the NFL started turning into more of a passing league, we see the point per reception. We see that adopted. I feel like I play in a bunch of leagues where it's points per carry as well. Now, maybe like a 1/10 of a point or a 1/4 of a point. Some I'm even seen a 1/2 a point. It just depends on how the whole, just how all the points are dispersed, things like that. Do you think that we need to start doing things like that? Like point per carry? I mean, it makes the guys like Jonathan Taylor, like Derrick Henry, it makes them so much better.
Yeah. Because I played running back in high school. So I'm like, listen, no, I might not hit 100 yards, but if I have 25 carries for 80 yards and I don't fumble, I had a good game in my coach's eyes. So let's translate that to fantasy, right? So that's why Hustle, I love your format of your leagues, no cap. I just like the way you do 0.25 per carry. You're giving those guys to get 35 carries, you're giving them some points. And I think that they need to do that. I like the PPR, but give something for a carry, not a point. You don't get a point, but 2.25, yes.
And I'm a fan of that shit in deeper leagues because when the player pool isn't as vast, out there. You know what I mean? Start adding some extra value. You know what I mean? Like if you were to start Rex Burkhead this past couple weeks in like a quarter point, per carry, you're getting something out of him because he was getting like 14
the carries. Yep.
He ain't doing shit with it.
What was it, like 18 carries for like 30 something yards?
Yeah,
but
man. I'm sick because I needed him to come up, and I told people to start him. So, guys, if you watching, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't know what I'm not gonna tell you to play. Wendell Smallwood over Rex Burkhead. I wasn't gonna do that.
No, that's a great example there because like this was just that's doo-doo versus doo-doo. So it's like the better doo-doo was Rex Burkhead in that case, right? But like, you know what I'm saying? Like here's another thing too, is like no one really preferences the depth of the league, but you can tell by the questions, right? Like if it's like 5 starters and like start 2, you're like, yeah, this guy's a 10-man league, maybe 8. I mean, or like, but when you get the obscure, like, hey man, do I start Rex Burkhead or Latavius Murray? And you know what I'm saying? Like, they're
hold on, some news just came in right now, according to Field Yates, that the Chargers have placed Keenan Allen on the COVID reserve list.
He's gonna be out this week.
So what about everybody else that was around him?
You gotta wait and see as the week go on, probably.
Okay. All right, you ready for this? Because I've been waiting for this. Y'all ready for this?
Go ahead.
My man Josh Palmer, let's go.
Dude.
Jalen Guyton.
Josh Palmer won't get a catch, probably, Bogard.
Listen, Jalen Guyton's an outside guy. Their possession receiver, who they're breading to be the guy if any Keenan Allen ever goes down, is Josh Palmer. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not saying go out there and put him in your line, put everything on the line, fantasy playoff. I'm just saying, like, because I like Josh Palmer. I've been waiting for this. You know what I mean?
DSF play.
You know what though? And Mike Williams, I mean, obviously he's going to get more volume. We put a lot for all the Mike Williams owners out there. They're probably really frustrated. So this got to make this like
Bogart's in the Matrix.
The new Matrix
again. There he is. He's back.
Yeah. Am I back?
There you go.
Okay. The Matrix is a crazy place, man. You know, I was actually going. How long was I gone? 3 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in there for like 3 months.
I can't wait for the new one to come out. I gotta watch it.
And life in sports talk with Jake.
Is he vaccinated?
I don't know. That's a great question.
They didn't say one way or the other. They said they put him on the COVID reserve.
Hey, you know what though? I bet you Keenan Allen's the type that'll be like, yeah, I'm vaccinated and not be, because remember, he told everybody, he said, don't sit me.
I remember I forgot to send you this meme or this gift this meme that I had. And it was like a picture of Antonio Brown, like in the woods, like he was like all in his gear. And like somebody walked up to him and asked for his COVID card. And like the picture that it showed like that he was handing was like a piece of paper, and it drew like it said like COVID tested card, like, and it was like in crayon, and it was just like a picture of him taped on there. It was so fun. I'll have to find it, send it to you. I died. It's funny.
Yeah, since we're on the the whole vaccine stuff, Second Take Extra said Antonio Brown rumors as the Buccaneers could cut wide receiver actor vaccine debacle. Yeah, the report says.
Yeah,
I'll think so. The reason why I don't think so, they don't want him to be a whistleblower. He's not the only one that did this. And listen, I'm not going to put any names out there, but I could think of a quarterback that plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that could have done this. I'm not seeing any names.
Yeah.
I would say that no, he's protected, and if he be let go, I still think he'll have an opportunity. This is something that you can put up front with a diva wide receiver, as long as he's not out and getting accused of degrade or things like that.
How's this not hurt like Bruce Arians? Because he did come out and say that they were 100% vaccinated.
Yeah, exactly. He did.
Well, Bruce Arians, though, here's the fun thing about being old. You can just be like, I didn't say that. And then you could be like, be like, fuck, I think I'm losing it. You know what I mean? You could just like I would use coach speak in real life if I was an old person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just use it to your advantage.
It's lies. All lies.
Yeah, these damn coach speak. All their damn lies.
Shit's so funny. Brucey.
And let's see.
It's Brucey's time to shine, baby.
How come I can't play quarterback? Here, throw me the ball. That's why, dumbass.
Like shit's so funny.
Fucking Brucey. All right. And then AK said, thanks, everyone. My bench is completely full of injured prime players. Least prime are Carter and Gordon. Would you drop Carter? Do you think he'll be out much longer than his expected show in week 15? So, and I think Melvin Gordon, I think he practiced today. I'm looking here and said that he did practice today. He's expected to be back at some point this week, or he's expected to be back practicing at some point this week. There we go.
I hate him. You know what? Okay, let me ask you guys a question. You think after Javonte did what we all know he can do you think that coaching staff views it like that though? Like, okay, he's the guy. Like who gets the bulk at least? You know what I mean? Because we're not gonna not see Melvin Gordon. You know what I mean?
I mean, that was against KC though.
I think we're in for a 50-50 split the rest of the way, but we already know they're running everything through those two. So if they both combine for like 35 touches, I think both of them are, they're not RB1s like Javonte was, RB2, literally the RB2 yesterday on the week. And but yeah, I think they're both like RB2s, when they both play.
My son knows where I hid the little mini Kit Kats, and this kid keeps coming up to me with them, like smiling. Here, give it to me. And I have to open it every time. Rose, if he didn't have to open, if I didn't have to open it, he would have been in there eating them.
And so AK said, would you drop Carter? I think that if you need that spot to win, or you're going to pick up someone to start, you don't have an IR spot, I think Carter's someone that you can just, cut bait with. Because if you need to win right now, we need to win right now. It's not the time to bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm getting rid of Carter in general, because even when Carter comes back, he's like, when Carter was doing his thing, it was with Mike White, right? It was
or
never
Flacco.
Yeah, it was never, and Flacco. It wasn't with Zach Wilson. I'm pretty sure that could change. You know what I'm saying? But like, Mike, it's also not going to change that they're going to run multiple running backs. That's annoying. You know what I mean? And that's another thing we view next year. It's gonna be crazy because we're dealing with more committees more than ever. You know what I mean? Like, and if not committees, timeshares. And like Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they made it popular. Stefanski, he made it popular to have a 1-2 punch, because everybody trying to do a 1-2 punch now. You know what I mean?
Go back to who is it? Jonathan Stewart and
D'Angelo Williams.
There you go. And then wasn't MJD partnered up with someone there, Fred Jackson? Like this has been going on for a while.
What was it? It was
Fred Taylor. There we go. Not Fred Jackson.
CJ Spiller and Fred Jackson was the one. What you were thinking?
Yeah, Fred Jackson was the beast in the last 2 or 3 years of his career. He was a beast.
He's probably one of my favorite running backs of all time for fantasy, because like everybody always slept on him. You always got him hella late. And just killed it.
Come on, Fred.
Fred Jackson from Buffalo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Awesome.
Back when it was him, Fred Jackson, CJ Spiller, Stevie Johnson.
That was right after
Fitzpatrick.
That was right after they got rid of they traded away Marshawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so it was Freddie's time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hell yeah. So they've been doing this forever. We were talking about it earlier.
Who's the other guy with CJ2K? There was another guy there too.
Lendell White.
Yeah.
Chris Johnson and Lendell White. That was one of the best tandems that we've seen in a long ass time.
Yeah. And then young Jamal Charles too. He was with another cat.
Larry Johnson?
Young Jamal Williams.
Yeah, not Jamal Williams. I'm sorry, young Jamal
Charles.
Oh, I did say
Oh yeah, he was with
him and another guy.
It was Larry Johnson, right?
I think it was. I think they were both running at the same time.
Yeah, because you could start both of them in fantasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was when Larry Johnson was kind of like almost on the way out.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, Derrick Henry, he may be the only one who is like a literal workhorse back to where he's getting 90 plus. A workhorse back to me right now is someone who gets like 75% plus of the touches, you know, because like everyone's getting some kind of split. It doesn't matter where.
Yep.
When I started really paying attention, right, it was like, oh, let's go see how many carries that guy had, or this, how much was he on the field? Like, I remember Adrian Peterson and Marshawn Lynch, bro. Like, they had a stretch where like they're getting like 400 touches a year. Yeah. Like, that's insane. You know what I mean? 400. I want to say, did Marshawn get like 450 one year? I forget. I
don't even know that. I mean, shit. If he did, that's gonna be like the most touches ever, in a season.
I know he went well over 400 a few times. I don't know. I might be high. Either way, my version is better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like your version better too. I love his touchdown celebration, dude. When he's just balling, just running, nobody's catching him, dude. He just runs and jumps and grabs.
And motherfuckers will go to the liquor store and make it a point that when they're getting their bottles to pregame for a Seahawks game, they're also going to get a bag of Skittles, because when he scores, everybody's throwing Skittles at that motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Like, that was insane. And he even got a bag from Skittles after football.
Yeah.
Like,
why would you not? If you were Skittles, you would be stupid not to give him some kind of endorsement deal.
Yeah.
Power.
They knew that.
He said his moms used to give it to him before his game, like his Pop Warner games, and would say, these are your power pellets. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And
like after you scored a touchdown, that was the reward for getting it, and you had to get more of that juice,
That dude got to be. Hey, he's a Hall of Famer. Marshawn Lynch is a Hall of Famer.
You know what's sad?
Yeah.
They're not gonna give it to him till he's old and crusty, bro.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
They better not. I mean, he won a Super Bowl with Seattle, right?
Yeah.
They would have won 2 if they would have given it to him. He should get in because of that.
He went over 10,000.
And that's my whole thing. It took
5-time Pro Bowler.
T.O. should have been a first ballot guy. I'm not saying that Marshawn should be a first ballot guy, but T.O. should have been. But the fact that he was polarizing for other reasons aside from football is reasons why they're like, we're not going to give it to him yet. You know what I mean? And then he knew he should have been a first ballot, so he tried to boycott it. And now I think they even did some shit, took his bus down or something like that. He tried to shaft him, and I bet you he regrets that now.
No, he don't. You talking about T.O. going to Chattanooga?
Yeah.
No, he don't, because he did it on purpose, and he said, and he actually talked about that on Shannon Sharp. If you want to go look that last interview they did.
Oh no! I'm talking about not going to the induction.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He went to Chattanooga and did it at his college, his alma mater.
Right, you did say that. Okay.
It was because he got snubbed, so he was like, "I'm snubbing you guys," and I mean, I'm sure there'll be a point in his life where he wishes that he went there and did it there, but
he always can go back. Hustler, they have to revisit every year.
Yeah. And like Marshawn Lynch, though, you already know why one of the reasons why they're going to keep him out initially is because it's all the reporters who are going to be pissed about the way that he would, handle interviews or shit like that in the beginning of his career. But
hey, it was funny when he would be like, he would go like you're selecting the people who you're gonna ask. You go ahead, ask your question, and then they would say something, and he'd be like he couldn't hear him. They'd repeat the question. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, Jesus.
Because it was even though that was what he was gonna say each time, he would that person thought oh shit, he's really gonna answer my question. What was that?
That's something that's gonna last in pop culture for beyond our lives. Yes. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
You know why he was doing that, don't you? Why he never talked to the media after Buffalo. You know what they did to him in Buffalo, don't you? They mocked him because they tried to call him that he couldn't speak right. And he was like, "Oh, okay. You know how Marshawn, those type of guys, man.
Yeah, Marshawn's
Yeah,
very articulate.
exactly. But he don't articulate like the way a lot of guys do. So they said something in the paper like he can't talk. He must be a hoodlum. So he said he was done with all media. And so all of a sudden they go to the Super Bowl. He's like, I'm still not talking. And so they had to beg him. Then they actually made it where, okay, I'm here saying he won't get fined, right? So that's what he went to. And I respect it. He held true to it.
Hey, because you know
what?
It was stupid because, just because you have an accent, it doesn't mean that you're dumb.
Exactly.
That's just how people talk in the Bay. Like, it's just the Bay swag and the way that they talk. Right. I think now people are understanding that a little bit more, but it also takes a younger crop of reporters, like Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams, they all talked about it forever. They got their white voice. When they go in talking to CEOs, it's a different style of voice because that's how they need to talk to get taken seriously.
Exactly.
I'm glad things are changing, though. I'm glad things are changing.
That's how they play their bills. Hey, how you doing? Thank you. Can we? It just, you right. You right.
And Life in Sports Talk with Jake said, "Hey, let's not talk about that day."
Like somebody,
a Seattle fan.
Hey, you know what's funny too is because here's another thing, bro. Like, this might sound conspiracy-like, but that's the reason why they didn't run with Marshawn. Because if they ran it in with him, he punches it in. He's the MVP, not Russ. Like the year before, it was Malcolm Smith. They wanted their guy, their poster, to be the MVP and be the hero. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, Pete Carroll ain't been right in the head.
Right.
Listen, that was the moment right there when he didn't run the ball. That was the moment he turned old and senile.
Because he went against everything that he believes in.
You know what, y'all, and you know how I feel about Pete. Listen, and I say this, he should have been fired. I would have fired him. If I was talking about how Jerry Jones would have did, Jerry Jones would have walked down on the field and said, "You fired." And Pete Carroll had been great up until that point. But, bro, please make it make sense to me. If you want to talk about getting cute, you can't get no cuter than that, right? Like, why in the hell you got Marshawn Lynch with 45 seconds to go with 2 timeouts? He just broke a 40-yard pass. He's hot. He's on fire. He just broke another 5-yard run. He's on, the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
Give it to him. I'm using those first 2 timeouts with Marshawn Lynch with 1st and goal.
You know what's crazy? This is one of those moments where the greats will take the liberty. You know what I mean? Like, if you're Tom Brady and they get in his helmet and he's like, "All right, look here, Jack." Like, it's Bruce Arians, right? He's like, "Look here, Jack. This is what we're gonna do. We should run it, but we're gonna hit." He's like, "Okay." Then he gets out. "This is what we're doing. We're not doing what he says."
Exactly. Willie beaming that shit, right?
Yeah. Like, there's got to be a moment right there. And then when you watch the NFL Films documentary, it's funny because it shows Marshawn and he's walking and he's shaking his head and he's passing by Pete Carroll, and Pete Carroll he's on his knees with the headset off, right? And then he gets up and he's walking and he's just dragging the headset from his hip. You know what I mean? He couldn't believe. And then here comes goes, "What happened? What happened there?"
Yep.
Because he just did what he called. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of shit that's going on, right?
Yep.
You got all the coaches. You got the coaches who are up there and they're watching from a high. You know what I mean? And they're seeing something. They're sending the message down. Belichick there's on the sideline. He's seeing that. Oh, he's telling all his guys. He's going like this. He's telling, okay, get goal line stand, right? We try to run it. And he told Malcolm Butler all week, and this is why Belichick's the greatest, because he kept running that same play, saying, "Hey, if you see this play, you break the ball."
Yep.
And they said they practiced it a bunch of times in practice. You know what I mean? And he picked off Jimmy a couple times because Jimmy's playing the role of Russell Wilson, Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And he said he made the play every time, and when he saw it, it was just instinct. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And what's crazy is because that's the chess smash that I love. That's the two coaches dueling each other right there. When the coach tried to get cute, Belichick had already vetted his guys to look out for every fucking situation.
Yeah.
Except for the one that they couldn't stop, which was run the ball. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even right in there, he was going goal. He was like, goal line. They're gonna pound it in. You know what I mean? Get strong down there. And you know what I'm saying? They go for it like it's gonna be a run.
Yep.
Ward Willis, he said Pete Carroll didn't last a year as the Jets coach.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw, I couldn't really sleep last night, and it was just on the TV. Is Willie McGinnis's football life? And he's awesome, by the way, right?
Yeah.
And they showed a clip of him right when he was with the Patriots, and they had Pete Carroll. He was flashing on Pete Carroll. They were about to fight, bro.
Yeah, I thought Richard Sherman was gonna fight him when he made that call. I said, guys, don't be surprised if you hear that Richard Sherman goes to jail for assaulting Pete Carroll. Because hey, man, I mean, I'm not being funny. What you thought was gonna happen, Hustler? That damn defense balling out but for 2 years in a row, and they lose the game on a pick with Russell Wilson with Marshawn Lynch, the best short yards runners of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, some bullshit.
Yeah.
That too.
Like, I at least would listen, I would push my coach. I would, man. I mean, how you gonna do some shit like that, man?
Man, I'd Kadarius Toney him. I'd do more than push him. Go headbutt him for doing some stupid shit like that.
Just go up to him, flashing on him, and just accidentally headbutt him. Accidentally.
I just want to play in the league again. That's why I'm just gonna push him. That's all.
And Chandler said off topic, but Bogey, should the 49ers roll with Lance? Jimmy G looks sus.
Nah, Jimmy G looks great. It's just because you know why? This is what he is. So when he throws a pick or fumbles or takes a safety, like these are the reasons why I say when we win ugly with handsome Jimmy. When we do win, it's never pretty. You know what I mean?
Playboy.
And that's a testament to how raw Lance is, because the coaches see it during the week. And you know what I mean? They see it all day, every day. We don't see it. If they saw that Lance, we had a better chance with him, he would have been in there already. They tried that. They tried to do like the spark, the light of fire in his ass type of shit. It didn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Lance is raw. Lance is raw.
And that could have hurt. That could have been the most detrimental thing for developing QB too. Like that could have set him back for the rest of the season. Like he went out there, looked hella bad. You watch him because they're gonna make you watch that film. You know what I mean? And that's the thing too, is if I don't know what kind of moxie he has. Like if he's eager to get back out there, or if he's discouraged on his performance so far. You know what I mean?
He might have to be moxie, because that's why Kyle Shanahan picked him up. Apparently, that he was very moxie, smart, that type of stuff.
Yeah,
and Chandler said the Lance starts week 1 though, right?
Next year, yeah, for sure.
Jimmy's gonna
there's gonna be opportunities to move Jimmy, and like the quarterback carousel is gonna happen like it always does every year. And there's wherever Cousins and Aaron Rodgers don't go, that's a spot we trade Jimmy to. Listen, watch Aaron Rodgers don't come back, right? Because I'm not gonna say 100% he's not coming back, because people like TD's made a good case for him to stay if they win, right? But
yeah.
so that kind of brought it for me. But if he don't come back, that's the system. Matt LaFleur. Just like the Shanahan system, we can trade them Jimmy. You know what I mean? And then Jay Love is just going to be a career backup until they don't after his 5th year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And Bogart with the money transition there. So for the Packers, Jordan Love is added to COVID reserve today. We already knew Aaron Rodgers is going to play, but there's a bunch of people who are getting added to COVID reserve today, and we'll see what happens throughout the week. It's not like he makes a difference, but
they just need to put him on the practice squad.
Yeah,
guys, you got to work the waiver wire, because this COVID situation, injuries, you got to keep working the waiver wire. Don't sit pat because you're in the playoffs.
Man, it's a bitch. I just realized I have like 8 shares. Like Keenan Allen's the most owned receiver I have out of 21 leagues. I have 8 shares of him. You know what I mean? And that sucks, because I need them in all 8 of those bitches.
Especially this week, that's for sure.
And even if he is vaccinated, I'm just gonna move like we're not gonna have him because we haven't seen anybody get COVID that's vaccinated and then still have 2 days straight of negative tests. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Cam Jordan was placed on the COVID reserve list too. So anyone who's been playing him in IDP, get ready to pivot. On the other side of the ball for the Saints, Deontay Harris been suspended for the next 3 weeks. So that all finally caught up.
Harris for the New Orleans Saints?
Yep.
What is suspended for?
It was for the DUI, I believe. Or
okay.
The PED. There we go.
Yeah.
Damn, he's small. He's a small guy.
That's why he needed it.
Yeah.
Had to kickstart that training.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was an injured cat too, though. You know what I mean? Because that's what's funny is like you expect cats to rehab and not use some type of steroid. You know what I mean?
Because he was appealing it, and so I think it finally went, and it was and it was from the DUI arrest is what it was, not PED.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, man, the PEDs they look like they was working though. You see him juke like the whole Dallas Cowboys defense. I was like, yo, he's on points.
Yeah, but no, really, what it was is he was playing for his freedom on the field right there, really trying to
running from the police. He's seen the star, and he was like, "Oh, it's the police."
And there we go. Yeah, Big Kong throwing it out there right there. Got suspended for the DUI in the offseason. So it's been going for a while, and he appealed it. And yeah,
man, that they didn't suspend Melvin Gordon, bro, because that would have been better. Because all of a sudden, just like Melvin Gordon suspended.
Yeah,
he had the Dewey. Remember, he had the Dewey.
Yeah, and it never came to fruition. They appealed it then, and it took it like just throughout the season is what it was. It was like it happened in November.
I thought like he apologized like right away, like he came forward immediately. Like
somebody was telling us about how like the players they got Monday, they usually got Mondays off. So like or not Mondays off, the Tuesdays is like light or so. I forget what they were saying because all the stuff we hear, it always happens on like in the AM Tuesday morning. You know what I mean?
And so for the Giants, this came up a little bit, but they said after further visits with the doctors and specialists to have the neck injury evaluated for Daniel Pesos Jones, he is unlikely to play this Sunday versus the Rams. And then we already know that Mike Glennon, he's still dealing with being smacked, so he might not be available. So TD, you ready for this? The guy who could be expected to start this week is Jake Fromm.
I thought you was about to say Tony Romo or something.
No, that would have been funny. But it's just just goes along those lines of the goofy names that you like to throw out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Guys, Jake Fromm.
And Steven said, "What's up, drama queens? What up, Steven? What's going on, bro?
What's going on, bro?"
Man, so Steven, like he used to give me some shit, when we first started all this. I was the guy just giving him all this shit. Because really, it's because I gave him shit when so he got into a league, and I'm gonna keep busting his chops about this forever. So he gets into a league, and like he eventually tells me he was nervous about telling me he didn't know how to pay, which app do I use or whatever. And so he blocked me on Facebook, like jumped out of the league and everything, all this stuff. Like, man, what the hell just happened? And then hits me up a couple days later and he's like, you know what? I'm back in the league. He's like, my wife told me I need to play in the league with you guys. And so I'm glad. So props to Steven's wife, who said, stop being a little bi and just go play in the league.
Oh, my God. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. Steven is Boomhauer, bro. He's Boomhauer. I was like, I was like, his voice just sounds like it's so, like, for months, it's been killing me. It's fucking Boomhauer. He's Boomhauer.
That's so funny. King of the Hill. We love it. All right, let's see. Who's some other stuff that we got here? We also got, so for the Panthers, Matt Rule says he anticipates Cam being the starter this week. And when it comes to PJ Walker's statuses, he said, quote unquote, it's up in the air. So I think it's Cam or bust versus the Falcons this week. TD, You playing Cam at all in the Super Flex League?
So, and I gotta give credit to this. I used to watch a lot of CBS because I love fantasy football, so I watched all content creators on YouTube. And this guy, I forgot his name, he's on CBS. He used to call certain games, if a guy ain't played good in a long time or a couple, like 3 to 4 weeks, he would call it a Jobu game off of the movie Major League. When he's remember at the end of the game, the last championship game, he's like, Jobu, if I do not hit home run today, I'm done with you, Jobu.
Yeah.
This is a Jobu game for Cam. And I mean that, like, if he plays bad, who's gonna pick up Cam on their team as far as the NFL, not fantasy NFL. So Cam needs to look valuable. Like he need to look like he can at least command an offense and give them, and they can like score at least 21 points. If he goes out there and he only completes 3 passes for 14 attempts, his career could be over. So am I playing Cam? Hell no. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting cute or anything. That he got to prove it to me too. So no, I'm not playing Cam if I can help it. Now, if he's the only guy out there as far as in a super flex league, and I want this super flex boom as in a quarterback, yeah, I'll put Cam there if I had to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taysom in a super flex, Taysom Hill or Cam Newton.
I'm going Taysom Hill.
See, and this was funny is like I'm going Cam Newton because Taysom Hill probably looked really good for fantasy purposes because it was really bad. It was really bad.
Really bad. He looks terrible.
Fantasy purposes, it was awesome. You know what I mean? But there was
it was his finger mostly. After his finger, he looked bad, but before the finger, he looked good as hell.
No, but I think after the finger, it was like rookie of the year or something. Has to, bro.
Yeah, it was.
This was like after the, because remember after the finger, he wasn't throwing that much. He threw like.
He was trying to put the game on his back and said, "I'm a bail cow." Derrick Henry win the game, quarterback position.
Because he started playing like he was Tim Tebow, and I always say that he's like a new version of Tim Tebow, but he's just right time in the NFL to be around where he's getting $100+ million contract doing some Tim Tebow shit out there.
Here's the thing though, Tim Tebow was a good Christian, so he would just pray that everything worked his way, bro. Because I don't know how Tim Tebow was terrible.
Dude, Tim Tebow was kind of terrible, but when the game was on the line, Jesus came down from the clouds every single time when the game was on the line. And like, I remember one game versus the Chiefs, he only completed 2 passes in the game. Yeah. But one of them was a 55-yard touchdown or something. Like nothing else mattered at that point.
Yes. Tim Tebow was one of my favorite players in the NFL in history, and it's obvious why, right? How you complete 2 passes and win a game, and actually take your team that's going. They're not going to be in the playoffs, so they put you in. You take them to the playoffs, and you beat the #1 defense in the history at that point in time. The Steelers defense nobody had over 300 yards passing on them.
I think it was like something like 200 was there, or 100, like that was the average they were getting.
Yeah, that was averaging like 100, like maybe 200 yards of passing. Their defense was #1 in every category. And they had Hall of Famers. Tim Tebow carved them up. I said what I said. Tim Tebow carved up the #1 defense in the NFL.
When Demaryius Thomas to the house.
As a rookie, Demaryius Thomas was a rookie.
Julius Thomas too, it was all
And Willis McGahee on his last. That's the last. And Willis McGahee led the league in rushing.
Yeah, I mean their whole. I mean they're as a team they led the league in rushing. It was all Tim Tebow and Willis McGahee, and it was just wild because you couldn't stop him. And you looking even now, everyone talks shit about Lamar Jackson being a running back, and how he's not a quarterback. I mean, I think Tim Tebow is just one notch. Underneath Lamar Jackson, but that one notch is a big notch when it comes to the accuracy.
I agree with that. But imagine if Tim Tebow was getting 20 carries a game. I don't think he would need to throw it that accurate. And I say just bail count him out and play action and go deep with him.
It's basically wildcat every time.
Yes, wildcat you every time with a little couple of screens and jet sweeps in it.
Right.
Man. They had it figured out at least that 1 year because I remember, they cracked off 6 or 7, 8 wins in a row. It was something like that where they were just nobody could stop them. Nobody could stop them.
Who was the other guy before? Who was the guy that was the quarterback before him?
Hal Orton.
It was Orton, right?
Oh my God.
Was he clipboard Jesus?
I think so. He looked great at practice. Everybody said he was great, but he couldn't play in a real game.
I'm just trying to remember if that was his nickname that they called him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they called Orton. But I do remember though when Tim Tebow was a rookie, every game, bro, the audience would just be like Tebow. Like it was like, yo, they're gonna get him. It was a game. It was hella raining, and he threw one pick, and they're like, get him and get Tebow in there. And everyone went crazy, bro.
Tino said Timmy T is a patron saint. Praise Jesus.
Hey, during that era, me and my buddies were in the beer bong, like that was like our beer bong era. You know what I mean? And like it'd be like, we'd be filling it up, and I'd be like Tebow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One knee.
Oh my God, yeah.
Cam Newton can beat out Tim Tebow in college. They
Hey,
play on
listen,
the same team.
I was about to say, that's why I thought Cam Newton was going to work with the Patriots, though, because Josh McDaniels made it happen with someone like Tim Tebow. Yeah. And I was before that was one of the coolest things that I was on record where I was able to go find the clip where I proclaimed like, oh, it's going to be the Patriots signing Cam. Because remember last year Cam was floating around like, oh, who's going to get Cam? I was like, it's going to be the Patriots because they got a playbook over there for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He on fire the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
And then he got caught the vid, and then it changed. I agree with that.
Man, I swear it was on like my version's better or so. Well, no, that was last year, not this year.
Yeah.
I remember we made some good calls during the offseason. I remember like 2 days before Teddy Bridgewater got traded, like right in the draft, I said that he was going to get traded. I didn't say where, but I just had a prediction that they were just going to get rid of him and it was going to be a draft day trade.
No, here's the thing though, is I remember you saying it was more specific than that. It was like you were like, the Broncos aren't going to look at a QB because they're going to get Teddy B. Like that, it was like that. It was like that specific.
It was that.
Yeah, because remember we were doing the show where we were mocking the first 10 picks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I said that Pitts was going to go to San Francisco. And I said what I said. If he went to San Francisco, I know that they, we're just fuck everything in the real world of the NFL, okay? We're just like having fun with this. And if he somehow went to the 49ers with that pick, with the third pick, 49ers might be a Super Bowl contender right now.
Hey, first of all, I just want to say, fuck Travis Homer. How the fuck do we let this little slippery bastard go? Like, fuck Travis Homer, dog. Change because when a player makes a play like that, it rejuvenates and motivates that whole fucking. Like we literally just got them. We just turned them over. We score. We turned them over. Then we go 3 and out. And here and then, fuck Travis Homer. A fake punt.
Everybody sucks though. Like that's the thing. Like it doesn't even matter. Like you're still like. I mean, now it's 49ers in Washington. At like the 6 and 7 seed versus like San Fran holding down the 6 seed.
I'm trying to think. I can't even remember who we got this week. I just know the rest of our schedule is fairly cake.
It is.
I know we got the Rams one more again, but like
even this week, you got the Panthers and the Falcons going at each other. They're going to cancel each other out. It's like whoever loses is like pretty much going to be out of it. Someone's going to sneak into the NFC playoffs with a losing record, just like last year.
Oh, it'll be the Vikings.
Yeah. And it's going to be the NFC East champion.
Nah, man. I mean, you think Cowboys, they're 8-4 right now.
Yeah, okay. What's the Cowboys record again? My bad.
8-4.
8-4. Okay. So they're going to finish with at least 10 wins.
That's why I kept saying it don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're 2 games ahead of Washington right now, and they play them twice. So even if they split versus Washington, I mean, Washington's not going to catch them. And then if they split with the Eagles again. The only way that the Cowboys aren't going to win that is if they lose, both to the Washington and both to the Eagles. Ooh, but if that happens, TD, you better hope it don't happen.
I'm not worried. I think we better than all our division teams. I'm not worried about it. The only team that I'm worried about is Green Bay Packers.
And actually, I guess there's only one more game versus the Eagles. I thought it was 2. But
we only played them once already?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, it was way back. Yeah, and you guys worked on them.
Sunday night.
Week 3, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
But what if Gardner Minshew? What if that game comes down to it somehow? What if Gardner Minshew just comes in, reignites the Eagles, and that game, week 18 versus the Cowboys? That'd be a little wild.
The home of the backup quarterbacks is the Eagles.
Yeah. And this is like the recipe for their success. Their starter going down, a backup, who's rejuvenated, who's ready to go, coming in and just lights it up. And Gardner Minshew, did you get to play him anywhere, TD? You throw him in any super flex lineups or anything?
No, because all the leagues that I had a chance to play another quarterback, I already had a quarterback, so I couldn't go pick up Gardner Minshew. But I played against him in one league, and I did lose that week. I did lose to that person.
So we got a couple leagues that are 2 QB plus super flex. I'm gonna get you guys into some of these next year because it's the most fun leagues that I'm in. Like that's for sure. It turns everything about fantasy football on its head because you got to have 3 QBs. You have to, or your team's not going to be competing. And I'm kicking ass in all those leagues, so that's another reason why I like the format. But I picked up Gardner Minshew, I think, in 2 of the leagues and threw him right into the super flex. And man, it was awesome. 30 points just right in super flex from your 3rd QB on the squad. Stoked. Yeah, I'm gonna get you guys into some of those next year. They were fun.
Uncle.
Let's see who else we got. We got some good news from the Browns. Stefanski said that Kareem Hunt is going to be practicing, ready to go after the bye week, and whatever kind of practice they had today, he said that he practiced. So I don't know if it's walking or whatever. Hayden Hurst for the Falcons is back. Hayden Hurst Helmsley. So maybe that's just someone to take a tiny bit of attention off of Pitts, down the stretch. But maybe Hayden Hurst is someone who we pick up for down the stretch as well because, no one's really doing anything over there. So, if he comes away with 4 or 5 targets, maybe one of them's a red zone target. Could be one of the leading tight ends on the week.
Yep. The last time he was healthy, which I think was that the overseas game?
It was like 4 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, I know he had a touchdown in that game. And it actually helped Kyle Pitts. It helped them where they could both be on the field and he could, take off some of the coverage that he was getting.
That was when they lost to the Jags, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Hayden Hurst Helmsley.
Cordell Patterson for MVP. That's who I think the NFL MVP should be. Is Cordell Patterson.
Hell yeah.
The actual NFL MVP.
Yes.
No way.
Who you think it should be?
I'm
starting a petition for Corduroy.
I'm gonna put if I'm gonna go non-QB.
Kyler Murray?
No. Hell no. When you miss time, first of all, by definition, any quarterback that misses time, they should be MVP because you see how trash their teams become. They are the most valuable person or player on that team, right? But I'm saying Jonathan Taylor.
That's what I was gonna say too.
JT, if not a QB, because if not, it's Brady, bro. Brady's shredding.
Yeah, Brady's.
Yeah.
But Cordell Patterson, look what that team is without him.
But
that team, they can't even score a touchdown. Dallas blew them out 43-3.
They're not winning because of him.
But that don't necessarily, to me, always call for the MVP. Remember, Steve Nash took the MVP from Kobe, and Kobe had 81 points that year and led the league in scoring. And Steve Nash was just on a scoring team that lost in the second round of the playoffs. I don't know. I just think.
Hold on. That's not a good argument because Steve Nash got that trash team into the playoffs.
That wasn't a trash team.
The Falcons aren't going to sniff the playoffs. You know what I mean?
That team wasn't trash. That team had Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, Joe Johnson. That team was stacked.
Oh, okay.
He just led the league in assists. So,
Okay.
but Kobe was like what he had did. If you put up those numbers, you had always won MVP, and they took it away from Kobe because of the shock factor from Steve Nash.
No. I think there's something more blatant here. It's because they were trying to hate on the black man again. They're like, we're gonna give it to Steve Nash. You know what they said? They said, "Oh, all you brothers get good numbers." You know why? Because he assists you, right? That was the one time in history they wanted to honor the guy with all the assists.
I mean, you gotta go back. I mean, I know Isaiah Thomas was probably scoring more, than Steve Nash was, but you got to go back to a guy like him. Didn't he get back-to-back MVPs as well?
Steve Nash?
No, Isaiah Thomas.
I don't know if he got back-to-back, but I know he won MVP or the years that Detroit won the NBA Finals.
Yeah, and
they had like 3. They won like 3 or 4.
And a lot of it had to do with his efficiency too with Nash, because like he was in that 90-90-40 club.
Yep.
Yeah, like the shit that like does not too many people like ever get close to that kind of shit. Like so, He's the man. He's one of my favorite players of all time because he does everything right.
He does.
Man, my basketball knowledge is like slim to none. That's why I thought the Jazz were always ass. You know what I mean? I mean, look at Nash. Hey, shout out to Nash though. He went and got him one, right? He got one with Kobe.
Yep.
Did they win?
Shot. I do remember that.
No, you got Nash got one with Kobe? No, that was the end of their careers. They didn't win anything.
But hold on, no. I'm talking about, didn't Steve Nash go to the Lakers?
Yeah, and he didn't get the play back.
That was when they sucked.
But they lost to Boston. That's right.
No, they didn't even go to the playoffs. Kobe got hurt and Nash back was out. That was the last 2 years of Kobe's years.
They sucked when Nash was there. I was mad that Nash even like went there, because I didn't even want to see him in that uniform. But because I remember in 2010 when the Lakers made their run, I met someone who worked for a ticket office. And man, I went to like 4 playoff games and 2 championship games like that year. And I always had the opposing jersey on of whoever was going up against the Lakers. That shit was fun.
You know what? What was it? Didn't Karl Malone go to the Lakers too to chase the ring?
Yep.
Yeah, it was what.
Yeah, and see that's what happens when they try to chase something without earning it. They
tried to do.
That was the year they lost to Boston.
They did a poor man's what do they call that? The what are they calling these the big teams right now?
Big 3?
No, what do they call the stacked teams that they put together like the super team? There you go. So the reason why they never called the Lakers a super team because they tried to do that. They had Karl Malone and Gary Payton and like I can't remember who else they brought over after that. But yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly. And they got to the finals, but that was the year that they got their asses whooped by the Pistons, and it was like all defense versus them. And
yeah.
Shaq was out of shape. Right. Shaq was out of shape. That's why they lost.
You know what, Shaq? Is that why Shaq was like, I'm going to be a sheriff? He's like, I got to stay in shape somehow.
Yep.
Hey, listen, if I got pulled over and it was Shaq, bro, I'd laugh.
Yeah, just do like what Cat Williams said. Like, no, Shaq is not getting out of the car. Yeah. Fucking Shaq trying to be an undercover sheriff and shit. What the hell is he thinking?
Actually, he lost his license because he was talking shit about Kobe on a rap one time. Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah, we need to play that on the show. And the whole rap, it was like, Kobe, how's my ass taste? It was after they lost in the finals, and
you know what? And I think he was wearing a chain, and he's wearing several chains, and on one of the chains was his sheriff badge.
What an idiot, Shaq! What a dumbass going out there. Your sheriff can't be doing shit like that. Hey,
Shaq got a whole shotgun on his thigh. He's like, that's how big Shaq is, bro. He's like, fuck a 45 on his hip. He got a whole shotgun. Yeah.
All right, well, that's pretty much it as far as the news goes. I mean, some weak news that we got is Davis Mills is expected to start. They think that Tyrod Taylor has a torn ligament in his wrist. But yeah, either way, Judge Davis Mills Lane expected to start.
Yeah.
Stream the defense.
Hey, listen, man. He's going to upset the Seahawks, man. Let's go.
Stream the Seahawks defense. They're one of my big streaming Ds of the week.
I mean, Seahawks defense is actually good. All jokes aside, they've only gave up one touchdown to a receiver in the past 8 weeks. One time.
I told you that, though, Bogard. I remember a couple weeks ago, you was like, yeah, man, but they're kind of trash. I said, well, it's because they don't have good quarterback play. Like, this is
I remember exactly what you said. You were like, when you're on the field all the time, you're going to be gassed.
Yes. Yep.
And like, so, yeah, I'll give you that for sure. But like, once that offense, I mean, listen, the way they won that game yesterday, it was a team effort, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I can't fuck Travis Homer, dang.
And then we also got for the Titans. So Julio Jones has been added to the designated to return from IR list, and they can actually start practicing.
Yes, sir. Come on, Julio. Let's go, Julio.
Nothing else matters if he makes some plays in the playoffs. That's for sure.
Exactly. Tell me about it.
And the last thing is for the Bears. So Matt Nagy, he said that Andy Dalton, he's working through a left hand injury. And he also reiterated, and I just imagine him like pounding the table when he's talking about Justin Fields. It's a pain tolerance issue. And then in quotes, he said, medically, we are never going to put him at risk medically again. Never.
Hey, you know what I would say? I would be like, hey, Matt Nagy, when you say we, who are you talking about? Because, bro, ain't nobody fucking with you.
I'm trying to think what college coach is going to come to take his job this next year.
Joe Brady, maybe. Not even a college.
I thought about Joe Brady. I don't know. I think they go more to a young college guy.
If Joe Brady is any type of smart, he's going to try to parlay whatever he did with Carolina to a head coaching position, because the product he put out there this year wasn't great. You know what I mean? Like I always said in the beginning of the year, it's the ultimate like score if he can win with Darnold, because then if anyone that can win with Darnold, you're like, man, give this man a job. You know what I mean?
And he did, as long as he had CMC.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though. Is it CMC? I'm saying if the Bears job comes up, he needs to snatch that, because that would be.
Yeah, he could. I think the Bears, if I was the Bears, I would try to go a little bit deep. I would try to do what the Arizona Cardinals did. I would try to go find me a young coach. If I thought he was brilliant with his offensive scheme, I would go get him. And then I would do what I would try to build up a defensive guy that's had head coaching experience that can help him out until he gets, situated with the NFL. But that's what I would do, because you need to squeeze Justin Fields for everything he can get. And the only way you can do that is spread the ball out and get a college coach to bring up that scheme. And that's most of the best schemes in the NFL right now anyway. Second
Take Extra says, I think Dan Quinn to the Bears. We shall see. They better get Nagy out of there, though. I mean, we know that he's the issue. And it's so funny how he was trolling everyone in that game, that he was out for COVID, and the team kicks ass and everything and comes back, throws it on Twitter. We're still trying to get to the bottom of why the team overperformed this week.
Yeah, you told me that. I still think you're joking when you say it.
No, why is he really that stupid? Is it that naive, or is he really just like, one of those like at everybody?
Yeah.
I know that I suck and you guys can't do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. Because it doesn't make sense, bro. You at least could say, listen, maybe I need to change some things up because they did well when I wasn't doing this. Like, at least say something sort of like that.
But then you admit that you suck. You can't do that. You can't admit that you suck.
You know what?
That's true.
When you look at what Matt Nagy does, nothing is consistent. He's always like, let's do this. They'll never see it coming. Like when you get down there in the red zone, they're like, you could just punch it in with David Montgomery. You're down there, inside the one. But they're like, you know what? We're gonna try the fake to Grant first. Then they do something else that doesn't work. Then it's third down, and they're like, go to Jimmy Graham. They'll never see that. And it's like, why don't you do that first?
Let's throw it to the road dog, Jesse James, real quick here.
Yeah, like, why is every play? Let's go deep down to Marquis Goodwin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? There's no consistency at all. Even like with David Montgomery. Like, just run David Montgomery. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how, like, Andy Reid, it didn't look like that. I guess because you got Tyreek Hill and Pat Mahomes, so it's going to look very different. But the way he do it in the Bears is like, bro, why you keep running gimmicky-ass shit? That shit don't work. I don't know.
Yeah, Nagy sucks. We already know that. And second take extra say you think Fields and Andy are out. I mean, well, for Dalton, I mean, it's his left hand, so I doubt it. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna if they're throwing in the towel all the way, I guess, they'd throw out Nick Foles, out there. But let me see, what's their record? I mean, they're 4-8. That's what's crazy. I mean, the tiebreakers is probably what's going to be screwing them over, but not technically out as of yet. They lose one more game. They are, though.
I mean, last year they were the 7th seed. Remember that shit? Like, it came down to like
and won a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, I will say this: Matt Nagy, at the end of the year, he's done great things.
They didn't win the game. They lost to the Saints.
Oh, okay.
They got because and they have their hands and they had a destiny in their hands. It was like win and they're in. They lose, but then the Cardinals lose, and so they got it by default. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yep.
He's got in the last 2 years with Mitchell Trubisky. He got in 2 years in a row.
Yep. Because that defense.
Okay.
He got in
that defense.
20. He got in 18 and 20. In 19, they were super ass.
What up, Jarrett? What's going on, bro? Shout out to the Who Dat Nation.
What up, Jarrett?
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Hey, so Taysom, there's no news on him though. He's okay.
Nothing as of yet. I mean, they said it could be a potential torn. It could be they said it's pretty much the same thing that Russell Wilson had.
Yeah, that don't sound type of good, but it's like, but also he's a running ass QB, so they might not care.
Yep. And David said, is Keenan Allen vaccinated?
We don't know yet.
Well, the thing is, if he is vaccinated, it's actually worse because then that means that he tested positive. And we haven't seen anyone test positive play that week. Like everyone who's tested positive hasn't came back and tested 2 times negative, in a 24-hour span.
He was just around somebody that had it. TJ Watt.
So he missed a week though because of it.
Did he? I didn't know. I thought he played the week before because remember, I thought Joe Mixon ran it down their throat.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe he.
Or was he around?
Maybe somebody? It was a maybe. You know what? That's a good question. That's a really good question because I'm getting all the weeks and everything confused too at the same time because I guess the week that he missed that that was for an injury. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna do more research on that. But if someone is vaccinated, the only way that they end up not playing or the only way they end up on COVID reserve is if they test positive.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or else they're not going to be put on the COVID reserve. So it
could
be one of those false positives or whatever, but I don't know.
Make plans, guys, for right now.
Yeah. You got to assume that he's not playing.
Yep.
And T-Money said, what time you guys getting on for the game? So in about an hour, we're going to be getting on for the Q&A.
It's already set up. The live stream's already set up. So
How did y'all do in your lineups yesterday, guys? The Super Draft Pro.
They sucked. I went heavy TY and I went Pitts heavy.
I did too. I hope I didn't have nothing to do with everybody playing TY. But listen, TY, I do think he's going to have
his history had a lot to do with it.
Exactly. That's the worst game he had against Houston his whole career.
Yeah.
Pittman was the way to go, and then
he didn't do good either.
I think he did a little bit better than TY.
Yeah, he did.
But
not like I thought he would have.
Thielen was a killer for me. Like I had him in 3 lineups, and that killed me.
Okay.
And in those 3 lineups, those were actually good lineups. Like those were my better lineups, and it was just him who just destroyed the lineup. Okay. Last night, if you didn't have Kittle at all, if you went across from a row and you didn't have Kittle in your lineup at all, you were screwed.
Okay.
I had 2 Kittle lineups, and I haven't looked yet because it just reminded me right now. But I had both Keenan Allen and Jefferson, and in I've been kind of stupid because this has been kind of fucking with me, but I picked 3 running backs. I just rocked with them in every lineup. So it was Gibson, Mixon, and Taylor. And like, Mixon really do much. And I should have went to the Madisons and the, you know what I mean, and maybe even the Jamal Williams.
No, Jamal Williams did. He didn't do that good.
Oh,
I don't know. Not even with the multiplier. I don't think he was like a really good play.
No,
my stacks yesterday that did really well were I had Fournette and I had Connor and I had JT. So like those 3 in your lineups, that shit was awesome. But like I had a couple guys like Ayuk killed my shit. T.Y. killed it. Yeah, I mean,
I had Ayuk in every lineup. I stacked a lot of 49ers. I did like Kittle, Ayuk, and Jimmy, and Elijah Mitchell. And then I had Antonio Gibson and a couple with Elijah Mitchell. But my receivers killed me. T.Y. Hilton didn't do shit. Brandon Cooks didn't do shit.
And as far as like tonight goes, I mean, shit, I pulled it up right now just to see what the weather might be like, and it could be up to 60-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah, they said prepare for 55. It said patrons or like tailgaters should prepare for 55-mile-an-hour winds. I was like,
so what kind of game was that, guys?
I'm playing all running backs in this game. I'm playing all running backs. Like, fuck playing anybody else. Can't play the kicker.
Well, not wasn't it windy last night for the kickers?
But he might run a couple in though, JC.
I mean, 60 miles an hour is a lot different than 25.
But here's the thing: they're talking about for the tailgaters in the game when you're in the motherfucking stadium. It's gonna take that down.
It'll be swirling winds in the stadium, probably.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm or gusts of wind. It's the gusts and what you want to see. I mean, what you want to look out for. You know what I mean? Gusts of wind.
Well, that's the way that CBS Sports specifically worded it too. 60-mile-per-hour gusts that could impact Monday Night Football.
All bad.
Running backs I'm betting on tonight are Breda and Ramondre, actually.
Yep.
I bet Harris gets a lot of work too.
It's both of them, bro.
Yeah.
It's both of them. That's what
Bill Belichick making them compete against each other.
Yeah.
That's what Bill, that's what he does. He squeezes for everything you get before you even get paid.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, let's get up out of here. And Russell said, who's the backup running back to pick for the Chargers? Justin Jackson, I guess. I don't know.
Jackson? Jackson and Roundtree.
Larry Roundtree.
I mean, none of them really did good when Eckler wasn't there.
What's Eckler's what's his injury?
I'm not even sure. He was just he just popped up questionable today, but it's not like they play on Thursday.
He was limping a game, right? They showed him limping off the field. But here's the thing, they were also smacking. So like it might not be that serious, but he also has a history of injuries. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And Midnight said Keenan Allen vaccinated is confirmed. Yep. Okay. So that means the only way that he could land on COVID, the COVID reserve list, is if he tested positive. So that means he tested positive. So he can play on Sunday, but that doesn't mean he's going to play on Sunday.
Listen, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on television. But I do want to say it's going to be a thing one day where they're going to be like, oh, what kind of vaccine do you have? Oh, well, that only covers XYZ corona. You know what I mean? Because there's all these variants, bro. Because it's a trip. And they never said that the vaccine was going to prevent you from getting it. It was just only supposed to like help you combat it when you have it. You know what I mean? I just don't think I think we're gonna move like we're not gonna have Keenan Allen this week.
Yeah, and if you do have him, it's a bonus, but it's all about how much he practices too.
And he should, to a lot. I know some people are trying to make the playoffs, but people that's already in the playoffs, he shouldn't mean shit to you anyway because you should be in there. So just be glad it wasn't like next week after this week.
Yeah. And Josh said, good news with the win. Need Diggs and Breida to stand their 35 points or so.
Oh, that's gonna happen, bro.
And Tino,
if I've ever heard one.
And Tino said, my bad, guys. I'm like 2 minutes behind. I'm high.
You good, bro?
It's all good.
And Chandler says, is Eckler questionable because Keenan got placed on COVID reserve list? No, I don't think so.
Nah, something happened with Eckler on one of those last possessions. He was seen on the sideline limping and shit. So I'm just hoping it ain't no high ankle or none of that. We didn't hear none of that. but they're also not mandated to tell
I
us.
told y'all Eckler is volatile. He's a great talent.
Volatile because of his size.
He is. That's because of his size. I agree. And
Yeah.
so I would have tried to sell him for a bigger back and for the cold times for your playoffs. That's what I would have tried to do.
I don't play scared like that. Eckler is the guy who can finish top 3 at any given week because he's utilizing the passing game.
That's true. That's true.
But so I'm okay because Eckler's not a guy who's gonna get 20 carries ever. You know what I mean?
No, he's not.
He's gonna get like 14, 15 maybe. You know what I mean?
But touches, he should get 20 touches though.
Yeah,
in the pass game.
20,
and I don't want Eckler if he can't get those 10 targets in the pass game.
Yeah, but you know what though? When I say I don't play scared, that's just me trying to reverse jinx him because I'm terrified. He's getting hurt right before my playoff push, and it's a league. I'm like on the cusp, and I traded for him a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's my fault.
And Antonio said there goes Stu's league if Eckler and Keenan Allen are out. Damn, bro. I hope it doesn't come down to that. He said my luck is fucking horrible. I hope it doesn't come out to that.
Bogard.
Into what?
Bumps and bruises for the Eckler.
Yeah.
All right. The last thing here before we get out of here, Chandler is trying to bring it out of us. Said, can you guys talk about Bateman? We did at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Let me sum it up. Fuck Bateman.
He said thinking of dropping him for a stash RB for the playoffs.
I would because now you got to view it as like you only hold guys you're gonna play right now or guys that are like a stash running back. You know what I mean? A lottery ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not opposed to it.
Me neither. And the only reason why is Lamar. It has nothing to do with Bateman. I gotta admit this. I was high on Lamar and I was wrong. I'm not gonna sit there and like ride him because this team is ready to go to the playoffs. But for fantasy purposes, he's been terrible.
I don't think we could blame it. I don't think we could blame it all on him.
Yes,
I mean, shit, all these running backs going down. I mean, with like literally every running back on their team right now that they're playing was never drafted by the Ravens. Most of them weren't even on the team like when the preseason started, you know, this year. So I mean, that's something that's messing everything up. Their line is garbage. I don't know why they thought they were going to lose one of the best left tackles in the league and not really replace him with anyone, and everything was going to be okay.
Exactly.
So they're, I mean, the Ravens are setting him up for failure. That's for sure.
I will.
Maybe they don't want to pay him. I don't know.
I will say though, I kudos to them for going for the win. I've heard people like, oh, they should have just kicked the extra point and tied. Like, listen,
I wouldn't have done it.
You're trying to win a game. He saw his defense was gassed. Big Ben wasn't doing nothing until that defense was gassed because he did it all in that like the last couple possessions. You know what I mean?
But Lamar, look, it got so bad that Mark Andrews and Marquis Brown was coming over to Lamar on the sideline saying, "Come on, bro, we getting open early, get the ball out." He was discombobulated. That's the reason why I didn't want to go for it.
You know what?
But Lamar, if he's hot, like I don't, if he's on, oh hell yeah, I'm going for that. But he just didn't look right the whole game, and so I just would have took the field goal and said, "Big Ben, let me see you go down there and beat me. I know you can, but hey, let me see it."
It's because TJ Watt was like the reaper out there. Like that dude had like 4 sacks. Like, man, there's a crazy amount of tackles. Like, yeah, man, he was a man possessed yesterday. That's for sure. And Chandler said, I missed it. Was in a meeting. My bad. It's all good, bro. But yeah, we were just talking about how Bateman sucks and really how you don't want anyone on the Ravens right now. You really don't.
Nope.
And Emil said, any news on Joe Mixon's injury? Nope. Hopefully we have some tomorrow. We'll definitely have some by Wednesday. No one's really, the teams aren't required to give any specific injury news on Monday or Tuesday. So
I will say though,
get what we could get.
He came back into the game.
Exactly. And this is what I say. If you want to see if he's going to be healthy, then go look at the kid and play dance that he did. He looks pretty healthy when he did the kid and play.
Yeah. I was going to say he came back into the game. And if anything, it could be like a re-aggravation of that ankle he's been basically nursing all year. You know what I mean?
And okay, so here's one piece that came through a little bit ago that I totally forgot to mention. Marlon Humphrey is out for the rest of the season with a torn pec.
Yeah, I pretty knew it was something like that. It happens. It's football. I hate to see it. Marlon Humphrey one of the best overall corners, not cover, but everything. He's one of the best at it.
So now they're going to be running without their top 2 cornerbacks that they started the season with.
Yep.
So they're just banged up everywhere.
Yeah.
And hell yeah, Tino, TJ, Defensive Player of the Year. Definitely.
Hold up now. Don't disrespect the Cowboys. Yes, I'm saying it. My boy, Michael Parsons, a.k.a. also known as Lawrence Taylor the Baby.
Okay, hold on. What's the numbers look like? Are they? Does he got TJ Watt numbers right now?
But listen. This is you're right. You're right. Not in sacks. But would TJ Watt have 100 tackles?
Well, no, I mean, but that's not his game, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's what I'm saying. But that's what makes Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons gonna finish with like 12 or 13 sacks. So he got 9 right now. So if he gets 13, 14 sacks with 100 tackles with about 5 forced fumbles, TJ Watt might have 18 sacks, but he won't have 100 tackles.
He might have rookie defensive player of the year.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a
and I'm reaching a little bit, but I think it's possible. That's why I'm giving y'all the numbers. What you think is better? 100 tackles with 13 sacks, or just straight up 20 sacks or 18 sacks?
Yeah, I mean, he's got double-digit sacks right now. That's for sure. So he's definitely making some stuff happen. Let me see. What's he on pace for right now? Yeah, I mean he's on pace for 102 combined total tackles right now.
How many forced fumbles?
Let's see how many forced fumbles he got. 2.
Okay. And I know TJ got like 3 or 4. So I know what TJ is. TJ is a monster.
I'm
just trying to push it a little bit.
I don't think that the defensive player of the year is ever going to be given to the person that leads the league in tackles. So I mean that's just, they just don't, So I mean that's why I wouldn't think Michael Parsons with this kind of stat line wouldn't get it compared to TJ Watt. I mean, he does have a grip of tackle for losses. They're tied there.
I will say
but if he can combine 15 sacks or 14 sacks with 100 tackles, I feel like that's equivalent to like 18, 19 sacks.
I mean, TJ Watt's missed 2 games and he's got 16 sacks right now.
Yeah.
So you mean Jalen Smith was that guy all those years? Because
he had no sacks.
No, I'm just saying like tackles. They're not going to value the tackles like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, even with that, because no matter what, the extra game doesn't make a difference for him. He's already missed 2 games on top of his bye week. He still is on pace to break the sack record for a season.
You know what, though? I think if Diggs gets like 4, 5 more receptions, breaks their record, I think he gets it over sacks. Because I think picks, I think when you get all them picks, you know what I'm saying, that puts you in a conversation just as much as sacks do. You know what I mean?
If he had 12, let's say he has 12 picks, because I think that's what TD pegged him for, and he's got 9 right now. So maybe he gets 12 or 13. I mean, if TJ Watt goes over 22 sacks and he gets close to 10 forced fumbles, right now he has 4. I mean, that's going to be pretty hard to contend with. That's all I'm saying.
It is. And that's, I'm just trying to be a contrarian a little bit, but I just feel like with Parsons having 15 sacks, no player has never had 100 tackles with 15 sacks. Maybe back in like the 60s, or when they started taking up sacks. But who's had that combination of 100 tackles? Usually you are a defensive end getting those sacks. It's never been a linebacker, like a middle linebacker guy, just getting those type of sacks.
Yeah, you're right. He's definitely winning Rookie of the Year. As far as
yes.
For sure. And we don't know exactly what day, we don't know exactly any of the info behind this, but we are going to have a fantasy award show, just so you guys know. We don't know the exact stuff yet, but the season ends the first week of January, so you guys can expect somewhere in the second week of January that we are going to be having a big award show.
Yes, sir.
All right. And all right, we're getting up out of here. Tino said Parsons basically a defensive end. It's definitely been a cheat code. All right, TD, why don't you tell everyone where to find you at? Remind them everything you got going on right now.
Okay, guys. So I told you my shirts was coming, and they here.
Nice. Yeah.
So, guys, Go follow me on OnlyFans or sign up for Super Draft Pro. I'm having a promo. I'm giving away shirts. Also, I got some hats coming in. I got some bargains for the guys that are in the winter parts. Like my homie right here, JC Money, he's in the winter part. So I know guys that's in his area need some toboggans. But go sign up, guys. And listen, on the 15th is the last day that you can sign up on OnlyFans for $10. I'm going to move it up to $20, and the guys that's on right now, you all are already grandfather clause in for $10 for the rest of my life. So listen, I'm going to give you killing content. It's probably going to be $30, $40 value of what I'm going to be giving, guys, as my channel grows. So you want to get on this before the 15th on that Sunday. Also, guys, go find me on any social media platform, Fantasy Good Sports with no spaces, and subscribe to my channel or just follow me, especially Twitter. I'm getting more aggravated, I'm doing more things on Twitter, just commenting on the games and stuff. So, guys, go follow me on all platforms.
JC Money, tell them about the giveaway you got going on Instagram.
You go follow me on JC Money or on Instagram. Go follow me at JC Money Design. I'm gonna be doing. Look, T. Higgins just went off this week too, huh? Yep. And I'm gonna be doing a giveaway. Let me see if I can find this picture real quick. I don't see it on here.
You know what's crazy?
Oh, it's probably under the other shirt. Anyway, it's a T. Higgins. It must be on the other one, under the other link.
I love it, Tom. I love it. Now I'm not taking off my clothes, bro. I'm actually providing fantasy football content.
But I'm doing a T. Higgins mini helmet giveaway. It's autographed from my personal collection. Just go follow me on Instagram. You'll see it all there.
There we go. Bogart, tell them where to find you at.
Yes, per usual, the earth is my turf. You can find me. Actually, you could search Tall Trees and the Seven Seas, and you probably won't find me because I'm very elusive. But you can follow me at the GMM Network and be sure to subscribe to the GMM Network on YouTube and catch us live every Wednesday, multicasting from Hustler's channel as well as mine for the Real Fantasy Playmakers What If series. This week, I think we're doing fantasy football regular season finale type shit. You know what I mean? Because this is it. Like then it's all dance talk after this. Everybody get your dance shoes shined up. You know what I'm saying? If you go into the dance, you know what I mean? And for those of y'all that ain't, sign up on Super Draft Pro with
yes, sir.
Fine gentlemen, including myself. Because man, this shit don't stop. And you might be knocked out your league, but go get this bread. Because I'll tell you this much: the bread ain't gonna come to you. You gotta go to the bag. You know what I mean? And if you do possess the magical power where the bread just comes to you, hit me up. Let me know.
Hell yeah, let's
We're
get
doing some super draft content here soon too. So anybody that's getting signed up and is kind of confused about how it all works, we're gonna be putting together some videos and showing you guys how to set your lineups. Kind of show you how I'll show you guys kind of how I pick my lineups for special things.
JC Money
learning.
JC Money adopted the Gardner Minshew strategy. He's just in a jock strap, nothing but a jock strap setting his lineups.
Yeah. Got the mullet flowing and everything, baby.
You feel me?
And make sure you guys come back here. We're gonna be back here in about 45-ish minutes. Starting up the Q&A, getting you guys ready for Monday night. These games, these Monday night miracles, that we need is gonna be a big session, going on. And yeah, a bunch of things in the pipeline. So make sure you go to fantasyfootballhustler.com. Go get signed up everywhere. Go follow on all the podcasts and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And, yep, we're out. We'll see you guys later. Peace.